Looks like a failure to eject. And a fresh magazine and more lube than a Diddy party. And you can see just how gnarled that round is getting in there. Well, the good news is it's California compliant. At the range today with the Markelmar CETME L. This is a 5.56 roller delayed rifle, and these are really cool. It's not new to the market, but it is new to me, so I thought I'd come out and make a video on it. Prior to this range day, I did take this out for to zero it and just initial function test, and I tested a lot of different ammunition with it. Now, if you read the owner's manual, it does say there's a break-in period, and it also recommends 62 grain NATO ammunition. Now, I've heard a lot of different things on what works well in this rifle. I've heard some say that they can only run NATO. I've heard some say they can run anything. I've heard some say they can only run Russian steel case ammo. But it seems like that across the board, it's recommended that there is an initial approximately 200 round break-in period before this starts cycling the majority of ammunition reliably. I am at about 150 rounds through this. However, only about 30 of those rounds were NATO ammunition. And so far, I haven't been able to get a single magazine through this rifle without a malfunction. So we'll see how accurate that break-in cycle is. Now, I'm a little skeptical on anything that recommends a break-in. I don't really understand why that's necessary. I think that most rifles should work 100% right from the factory. I mean, for example, my AP-53, which is another 5.56 roller delayed firearm, that there was no break-in required, and that runs pretty much any ammo I put through it. This is a very similar system that it uses to operate, so I don't really understand that a whole lot. Maybe someone can chime in down below and let me know why some require a break-in and some work flawlessly right out of the gate. Now, like I said, I tried several different types of ammunition before. 55 grain, 62 grain, hollow points, FMJs, different brands, you name it. And really the best function that I received was from M855 green tip ammunition. And I still had one malfunction in that magazine. The other magazines, I was getting a malfunction every 2 or 3 rounds. So hopefully that's going to get ironed out today. Because at the range, I have with me all M855 62 grain NATO ammunition, and I'm running it all through these Duramags. And these are the brand that comes with the CETME L Duramag. And actually, the rifle in here is what comes in the box with it. And then you can see in here, I do have that M855 green tip ammunition. The rest of these are M855 green tip, but they just, I shouldn't say green tip, but they are M855. They just don't have the green tip. This magazine in particular is all federal. The rest of the magazines are the ZQI M855 green tip ammunition. Other than the optic, this is completely stock. The optic is a Primary Arms 30mm red dot sitting on a PRI low mount, which is a perfect height on here. It allows me to have a 1/3 co-witness with the iron sights, which is really cool. And just running my red wire gear sling on here. So we're going to head down range and see how this will do. All right, if you've watched my range videos, you know I like to start off with a good old bill drill or two to really get warmed up. Get a test beep here. All right, so we got 7 yards, 6 rounds, fast and accurately as we can go. First round, first malfunction. Looks like a failure to eject. All right, malfunction is clear. We're gonna give this another try. One thing to note, the magazine release is a little bit further forward than we're used to on an AR. Definitely not super ergonomic there. And same thing with the safety. It's kind of in an odd spot. So something to point out. Alrighty, 6 rounds, hopefully, fingers crossed. There we go. Got all 6 off that time. That was a 1.84 5, definitely on the slower side. All right, we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna start from the high ready. It might be a little easier to reach that safety. Second go. Second malfunction. Another, it's hard to tell. All right, so the nice thing is the bolt doesn't lock to the rear on an empty mag, but you can lock it back manually, which is nice if it's gonna, I guess, keep having all these malfunctions. So that was a spent round that it again did not extract and eject. And this is the ammunition that previously ran with only one malfunction in a magazine. And this is the mag that came with the rifle, so it should not be a magazine compatibility issue. Let's try this again. There we go. That was a 223, so really not faster there. As far as the trigger goes on here, not great, but that's all right. Not everything has to be a high-speed AR-15 or anything like that. This is fun to shoot, assuming I can keep shooting it without having to clear malfunction every other drill. So again, hopefully that irons out throughout today. We'll see how it goes. All right, one more build drill. There we go. That was a 193, still pretty slow, but it ran. All right, we're gonna go 222 from left to right. Let's do it. And another malfunction. I think that's the third one, if we're keeping track. And we are keeping track. So you can see right there. All right, we're loaded back up. Let's try this again. Same thing. Definitely a bit aggravating. Be nice if they could break these things in for us from the factory, right? And you can see just how gnarled that round is getting in there. Now this does have a fluted chamber, which is supposed to help with cycling. It utilizes those gases to kind of help get that round out of the chamber. But so far, it doesn't seem to be working too well on this setup. All right, fingers crossed we can get through this drill. 222. Clear malfunction in this is not necessarily the easiest, just due to the ergonomics. Which again, I don't mind the ergonomics. It's just if it would run, I wouldn't have to be clearing so many malfunctions. All right, here we go, 222. And again, really can't blame the ammo. Let's see if this works. So, I mean, what can I say? Can't even get 2 consecutive rounds off. And just to reiterate, there's the ammo. M855 green tip ball ammo. Oh. Empty piece of brass in the chamber. Let's see if we can do this again. At this point, I just want to try to get the rest of the rounds out of this magazine. Well, the good news is it's California compliant. All right. Wow, 3 rounds in a row. Somebody call the doctor. All right. Here we go, 30 rounds. That took a while. Yeah, so we'll see how this goes. This might be a painful range day. I'm gonna go ahead and squirt some oil in here, I suppose, although I can still see oil, so it's not dry. We'll take it from there. Hi there, we're back with a fresh magazine and more lube than a Diddy party. So we are now running the ZQI M855 NATO. So we'll see how that works. But again, I've tested the Federal green tip and it worked okay-ish before. And by okay-ish, I mean one malfunction in a whole mag, which as you've been seeing is about the most we could hope for right now. All right, so 222. Let's see if this is it. Honestly, after that first two, I kind of hesitated because I did not think it was gonna keep chugging along. But that was an abysmal 305. But all the rounds got off. All right, I'm gonna try that one more time, see if I can get a better time. 222 from left to right. Just gotta beat 305. Shouldn't be too hard. That was a 176. Little sloppy, but felt a lot better. So we're gonna run it a third time. I gotta get all hits. 222 all hits. Let's see how we can do. And back at it again with that stovepipe right there. And let's see how we looking. Does appear to be a round chambered. So let's see. Let's try it again. It's hard to have confidence and get a good 6 rounds off when you think it's gonna malfunction every couple. It's going so good. Look, exactly the same. Wow. It's about 100 degrees right now here in Arizona. Brass is hot normally, and I promise it's definitely hot sticking out. So definitely gonna glove up here, rip it and strip it. All right, let's see if it's gonna run without having to clear anything else. And you can really see all that residual oil on this. 222. Back at it again. California compliant Marklemar CETME L. Now we got a double feed, which gravity just solved for me. And unfortunately, that round got pressed back. Not safe to shoot that. Ammunition ain't cheap, boys and girls. So, yeah, a little frustrating. And oddly enough, that bolt release is right up here. Kind of in a weird spot, but it's there. Let's try this again. And no surprise there, another malfunction. This one we impressively have a round. I don't know if you can see it. It's straight up and down vertical from the front of the magazine straight up into the receiver. So, number one, I'd use that bolt the bolt lock, aka the malfunction assister 5000. Somebody on YouTube is gonna tell me I'm doing this wrong. I can almost feel it. Feel it. All right, I'm just gonna try to get a mag dump. Let's see how many rounds we can get through this. The count style. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. 4 rounds. All right, and here we go. Just gonna get these mags out of here. The rounds out of the mag, which is gonna be more daunting than I'd like. And can't even lock the bolt back this time. Definitely burning a lot of ammo dealing with this. 2 rounds. Flawless 2 rounds. All right, well, that's 60 rounds through it today. That puts me at about 210 rounds. I don't know how much more I got to break this in. I think it's doing a lot of breaking, not so much breaking in. I'll give it one more mag. If my next mag's not running right, I'm done wasting ammo on this today. I'm gonna have to contact Marklemar and send this in for them to take a look at it, and hopefully they can get it fixed, because it is a really cool rifle. But I don't like to own stuff that just doesn't work, and I don't. I've really never had more problems with a factory rifle than this Marklemar CETME. So that is what it is. And we are back at the 7-yard line with the CETME for one more attempt to get this thing to run through. We've surpassed the break-in period. I've already spent over about 210 rounds of ammo, and 5.56, especially M855, you're looking at close to 50 cents a round. That's a significant amount that I've already invested in this, and I honestly don't want to burn too much more if this isn't going to run, because I'm not really getting any value out of it here at the range. I'm not able to run drills. I'm not able to get any practice out of it. It's just burning ammo, and I don't get ammo sent out to me to test this stuff. So let's see. All right, so I'm not even gonna bother doing a drill. I'm just gonna fire some rounds, and just to see if this is even gonna function at all. And if not, I'm calling it a day, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so we're loaded up with our ZQI M855 NATO ammunition. That didn't sound good already. The bolt did not go all the way forward, and there's no forward assist, and really shouldn't need a forward assist. Even on an AR, the amount of times you have to use a forward assist on an AR is pretty rare. And if you are using the forward assist on an AR, it's usually due to a problem caused by something else. Let's try that again. Here we go. That was a little bit better. And I'm not overloading my mags. These were 30-round boxes of ammo, the ZQI. So I know I have exactly 30 rounds in each of these magazines. So again, we're just function tested right here. I'm not even gonna bother with the timer. I don't want to get my hopes up too much. So just right down the middle. Let's see if we can get some rounds off. So far, so good, as they say. And what was that? 4 rounds total. And I'm looking in here, and the spent piece of brass is currently backwards. All right, so the primer portion's back here where the chamber is, and then the face of it is going right into the face of the bolt. All right, so I believe I'm going to call it for today. Like I said, ammo not inexpensive. And I think it's safe to say at this point that there is definitely an inherent problem with this rifle. It's not the magazines. It's not the ammunition. It's the rifle. It's not dry. I oiled it up, like I said earlier, and it surpassed its break-in period. So, really my only next step is going to be to contact Marklemar, see if I can send this in and give them an opportunity to take a look at it and fix any problems that there might be. So in review, the Marklemar CETME L did not function well enough to really do anything here at the range today. Definite failure of a range day, which I've been doing a lot of range day videos on my Instagram and YouTube for many of years, and I've never had an absolute failure. Even when I had that JRA Gallant that had a lot of problems, I was still able to get enough rounds to run some drills with the occasional malfunctions. But this here, no dice. So what I don't want you to take away from this video is that Marklemar or CETME L sucks in general, because that's not the point. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to contact Marklemar, and I'm going to let them know what problems I'm having here, and I'm going to give them an opportunity to make it right, because there is a very good chance that a lemon slipped past their QC. It happens. It happens with every single company out there. But I'm going to give them a chance to make it right. So hopefully they are going to send me a prepaid label to send this back to them so that they can look it over. And hopefully when it returns, it'll be fully operational. And if that's the case, I will make an update video that really goes over all that, and it's going to give it a proper range video. So at this point, it's going to be in Markle Marr's hands to either make it right or not. So we'll see if they do receive it and they decide that if they try to tell me there's nothing wrong with it, I need to check my ammo or this, that, and the other, then I can see if they will potentially offer me a refund or replace the rifle entirely and try it again, because I know that there's videos out there of guys shooting these and they're running fine. I know people personally that have these and they run fine. Again, this is the Gen 2 version, so it has some slight updated changes, which is supposed to improve its function and reliability, but you saw for yourself that it is not functional or reliable for the most part. I've already burnt my thumb pulling out stovepipes, and yeah. So what I will tell you is to let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, I don't always respond to the comments because I see a lot, and especially on YouTube, a lot of the comments don't really elicit a response. But I am checking them, I'm seeing them, throwing some likes when I get a chance. But really stay tuned for the update, because I'll do an update regardless of what happens, whether or not they decide to take it and fix it, or they tell me to go pound sand, or they're going to replace it, and we'll see. And if they do send me a new one, I will do another range video with this CETME out. So stay tuned. Follow on Instagram, Rob_Solo89. Follow on YouTube, RobSolo89. And if you can't find me anywhere else, RobSolo89.com has all my links. So thank you for watching.